Hey there, this is Christine Landl, and I am with my sister, my best friend, my business partner, Jennifer Ream, and we are so excited to be here on yet again another platform that we are creating and another chapter, another piece to our journey.
The Vibe Well podcast. This is Jennifer Ream. So excited to be here with you guys. Our intention for this podcast is all about sharing our love for all things wellness, holistic wellness that is. And we are here to uplift, plant some seeds, and support you on your wellness journey. We've always loved being able to be out there with our community, sharing all the things that we learn. And as we grow and learn new things, we love to put them out there, and maybe they'll plant some seeds for you and help you along your journey. So here we are. Let's get started.
Hey, we're so excited to be back today. This is Christine Landl, and I'm with my sister and BFF, Jennifer Ream, and we are the Vibe Well podcast. We've got some great things to talk about today, one of our favorite things, so we'll try not to go on too long for you, but today's episode will be all about food is medicine, and so many things around this and so many topics we can go into, and we're really excited to chat together about this.
Hey, everybody. Jen here. Thanks for joining us, and let's dive right in.
Yeah, so I think that one of the things that we really want to hone in on with food as medicine is how everybody is bio-individual, and what does that mean? So one person's food could be another person's poison, and it all just depends. And I think that we've learned that personally over the years, and we've been on this food journey for about 22 years now. And consciously and noticing the connection between food in our bodies and what it does. And when we were in our young 20s, definitely had a lot of foods that irritated our gut and our digestive system. And so working through that, I would say, though, in the beginning, we were all about, like, what can we take to put these symptoms at ease, and what over-the-counter meds can we take?
Yeah, because I remember just early on, like in our 20s, it was just, oh, grandma has IBS, so I must just have IBS.
You inherited it.
You just inherit it. And then it was, okay, so then you just have to live on medication to ease your symptoms. And it was through your food journey of healing that woke us up to, oh, this is not how it has to be. I have a gut issue that I need to heal. Mm-hmm. And now that we understand how food plays into causing the issues, we can use food to heal the issues. And that's an amazing revelation and a game changer in so many people's lives when they wake up to that truth.
Yeah, and I think depends on the cycle of life too, and where you're at and what part of your life you're in, whether it's childbearing ages, or whether you're getting into your 40s and your hormones are changing, or you're into your 50s and it's really changing in your menopausal, and it really depends. And I have noticed that each decade for me it changes even. And in my 30s, I'm 42 now, and in my early 30s is when I really started to dive deep into my thyroid and Hashimoto's and what I can do from a food standpoint to help heal those symptoms. And it wasn't until I figured that out, that my symptoms from the Hashimoto's, which I'm in remission with now, I have no antibodies, and my thyroid leveled out. So for me, it started with eliminating dairy and gluten. As a lot of people know, for me, and everyone thinks it's so hard, and how do you do that? And to me, it was just noticing the difference that it made in my gut. I mean, now if I were to eat it accidentally, I still would look 5 months pregnant, because it's how much it really affects the digestive system and dairy. And my body is, of course, not used to it anymore. But eliminating those two things was a game changer for me. And I feel like I've tried every elimination diet, cleanse, detox, whatever you want to call, all the probiotics, the prebiotics, the drinks, all of that. And it really does come down to what you're putting in your body. And
The quality of your food.
The quality.
And I think that's really where I think the conversation started in our society once we realized that our soil had changed and we're not eating the same foods that our grandparents were making. The soil was just different then. It was just a much healthier soil. And now we struggle to get good quality food from our earth, and we have to regenerate our soil. And that conversation is probably a whole nother podcast. However, once we understood and that conversation started happening, at least in our world of nutrition and holistic healing, and we understood that the quality of our food was a game changer in the body. And you can look at our kids' health and see the trajectory. You can look at the illnesses that our children have that they didn't have 30, 40 years ago. Mm-hmm. So bottom line is the quality of our food matters. And I think that's why we at Vibe Well are so extremely passionate about choosing organic as much as we can and eating from the earth and eating from our local farms when we can, choosing CSAs, crop sharing opportunities, and really choosing food that is grown around you as much as possible. And when you start to do that and really commit to that, you can see a change in your health. So,
yeah. And I think that oftentimes, I think oftentimes that people feel that it's overwhelming and they don't have enough information on how to be healthy. But I really feel like it's a simple thing. And the more simple we make it, the easier it is. It comes down to eating real, whole, organic foods and connecting the dots with the amount of chronic illness we have in America with the processed food, the big food industry, connecting those dots and realizing that if all we have to do is change the quality of food that we're eating and making sure that it's real food, not frankenfoods, and that can reverse disease. So we've become this country that is completely relying on, I would say not everyone, obviously, we're not in this majority, but completely relying on the Band-Aid of pharmaceuticals for all of these health-related issues such as, chronic heart disease, obesity, diabetes. Gosh, we could go on. And it's so often that it is just what we're putting in our body and being sedentary. So both of those things go hand in hand, but really, ultimately, it comes down to our diet and what we're eating. So like you said, connecting with the farmers, we have to get back to that and regenerating our soil and having the minerals. I mean, we are now in a position because of what we have done to our soil and our earth. We're in a position where we are mineral depleted and we are vitamin depleted. So we can't get it all from our food unless we are growing it ourselves or buying it from our local farmers and eating it fresh. And so we have to get back to that. That is definitely a solution to a lot of these issues and relying on big food industry who really don't have our best interest in mind or our health. So, how do we do this? And what are ways that Jen and I do this on a regular basis, on a daily basis? I think that's what it comes down to and what people want to know, because we can talk about it all day long, but how do you make this sustainable and a part of your everyday life? And really it starts with setting your goals and how you want to feel, and then looking and really evaluating your life right now and what you're putting in your body and connecting the dots, because really what it comes down to are symptoms and different ailments and things that you're feeling in your body really are just messages. And so you have to kind of welcome those and listen to them and think about intuitively what you can do to support those symptoms and heal them.
Yeah, and I think the simplification part of it is really important, like you said. So what I do and what I try to teach my older children now is really like choose from the earth as much as you can. So if you can choose real food instead of items that are in a package or going through the fast food drive-through places, limit that, and just choosing from the earth as much as possible. That's the best place to start. looking at the grocery store, walking through the perimeter. Where are all your real food at? That's where the real food is, not in the center aisles. It's around the perimeter of the grocery store. So choosing to eat there, choosing to snack from that place is a small way you can make changes in a simple way, I should say. And those small little changes will add up to big results if you continue to do that. I think we could go into also just like you said, being mindful of when you eat something, how does it make you feel, and connecting those dots. And there's so many people that already know the answer. They know that, okay, when I eat this, I feel like shit. And, they feel like they need to go take a nap, or they get a headache, or they feel just overall lethargic.
Gas and bloating is a huge one.
Gas and bloating is huge.
And I feel like people think that that's normal and okay because it's, as a society,
we've made it normal and okay.
We have, yeah.
Oh, here's the pharmaceutical ad on your TV telling you, here's what you can take if this is your symptom.
Oh, yeah, that's a whole other episode.
That's just it, but it has made it so common that people don't think anything of it.
Right.
And there's a problem with that.
Right. And we don't have to live that way. That's the beautiful thing. And that's one of the things that I think we both learned along the way, because we were the standard American diet back, in our 20s and our teens, and, eating from a box of throw some hamburger helper in there.
Yeah, we had no clue. I had no clue.
No idea. And I think it brings me to, another point of what you can do besides, eat from the earth, of course, majority of the time. But if you are buying something out of convenience, which we all do and have to do, you have to buy packaged food still. Look at the ingredients, read the ingredients, know what's in them. The less ingredients, the better. And bottom line is you have to know what you are eating and what that's going to do to your body. So if you don't know what's in it, don't Google it. DuckDuckGo it. We don't like Google. Look it up, read about it, learn about it, and know what it's going to do to your body.
Yep, absolutely. So there are real foods and there are bridge foods, and that's what Christine's talking about, is those bridge foods that, they're not from the earth, but they're not horrible, and they're kind of bridging in between. And that's going to be part of the norm and part of our society and our culture for food. But there's just so many ways you can get started. Smoothies are amazing in the mornings for getting all your whole foods in there, adding in some extra vitamins and supplements just to boost it, some superfoods in there. That's a great way to get just a lot of nutritious ingredients into your body in a fast an easy way. So I know that's a big one that we do. And I think getting into the bio-individuality of this is important for us to touch on quickly, because so for you don't do gluten, you don't do dairy, haven't for years. For me, I know that it's not a great option. I don't have the same side effects that you do. So I don't eliminate them from my diet, but they're not my first choice.
Yeah, they're your 20%.
They're my 80-20 rule, my 20%. However, when I did eliminate dairy back in the day, I was in my 30s having acne, and I'm like, why am I having acne in my 30s? This is weird and crazy. I never had it as a teenager. And that's when you were on your journey you're like, I'm reading a lot about dairy and the hormonal effect on your skin, and you're like, you should try it. And I did. I eliminated it and immediately saw a huge difference in my skin. So that's where the experimenting with your own body and seeing what works and doesn't work for you is so important. And because it's a bio-individual situation when it comes to food. And like Christine said, for one person, it could be somebody's poison or a severe allergy, and another person can be totally fine with it. So I think that's an important thing to mention. And as you're going through the journey of healing your body, or just wanting to feel better, or just wanting to get healthier. I mean, if we haven't learned anything this year, it's that our immune system is the most important health resource we have. And we have to be on top of taking care of it and boosting it and keeping it strong. And that is, I always like to say health is wealth, but that is the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And it starts with our immune system. So understanding what for you boosts your immune system and keeps you the healthiest is part of the experimental journey that you have to go on. And for you and for all of us, it's different. Like, even though we share resources and we share things that we do, my journey is different than your journey. And that's where we get excited about sharing tips and tools and things to lift everybody up.
Yeah, and I think that's super important because life changes so often and how we're feeling changes so often. You do need a full toolbox of what you can do because you have to reset. Mm-hmm. And so, I mean, whether you went on vacation or you weren't feeling well and you need to reset your body. I recently wasn't well, and for 4 weeks I craved nothing but carbs because I lost some weight during that time and I needed energy. I had no energy. It was just complete fatigue. So my body just craved carbs and carbs and carbs and carbs. So it was really interesting to me when I look back for about 4 weeks that's what my body wanted. And so I had to be really mindful about what I gave it. And I also caved quite a few times. And so now I'm in this place where, I know what I need to do to reset my body. And that's where I'm at. So what that looks like for me is kind of really, really paying attention to any sort of processed foods. That could even be like gluten-free crackers make a big difference for me when I'm not eating them, or tortilla chips. Those sorts of things do add up and add to inflammation. And so when you're resetting your body, you really have to go clean. And I think a great thing to talk about is cleansing and detoxing and resetting. And that's, we're really passionate about that. I'm pretty sure I've tried every cleanse out there in the world.
Yes, I'm pretty sure you have. And spent lots of money doing so.
I have. And I'm just like one of those people that if I see something like, got to try that. I'm more of like an experimenter because I want to see how it makes my body feel. And of course, that's our work. Then we share it. But it's incredibly important. And like Jen said, the reason for smoothies for me is it does give your digestive system a break from having to break down solid foods. So basically a smoothie is doing a lot of the work that our stomach has to do in breaking down the foods. It's already broken down for you. So you skip the chewing part and it goes right, and it just is a lot easier on your digestive system if you have those sorts of issues. So that's a way I start almost every day. And then if I'm doing a reset, I just do that a little bit more often. Add in our juices, of course, maybe more juices than I would normally drink. Green juices. I'm just more of a green juice person. So I think that it's really important to reset your body quarterly or whatever that looks like for you. Sometimes if you've done some pretty deep cleansing and detoxing, then you just do like a 1 day, once a month, or a 1 day quarterly. And it really does help you to reset, especially reset the cravings. So like I said, when I wasn't feeling well and I was craving all those carbs, it was important for me to do a reset, and it really does kick those cravings, and you just feel so much lighter and energetic, and the vitality is back that you kind of lose when you're feeling heavy from being bogged down by foods that aren't so serving you well. So there's different types of cleansing. I like to call it resetting my body. I think detoxing, you can do a lot deeper detoxes, get some supplements to help you detox your liver, detox different organs in your body, depending on the season. There's a lot of great ones out there for that reason. But ultimately, it's just giving your body, for me, a reset is giving your body just some time to rest from having to digest food and put energy into where it might need some healing in other areas of your body. So that's a really important piece to, again, food being medicine and right. What you're doing to heal your body.
I think we should touch on meat.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we've both been vegan, vegetarian, carnivores.
Yeah. We have a lot of experience in this area. I know I went through the whole vegetarian experience as a teenager.
Mm-hmm. I did it not that long ago. It was about 3 years of not eating meat.
Yeah. So we have a lot of experience around that. I think that bottom line is it comes down to the same thing we've been saying. It's such a bio-individual situation, not to mention some people do it for personal reasons and spiritual and humanitarian reasons, which I can totally understand and get behind. I just watched a documentary on the fishing industry, and that made me want to not eat another bit of fish. I was like, can't watch these things.
No.
So, but when it comes to the meat, the most important thing is your sourcing. how the animal was raised, and was it injected with any kind of hormones or antibiotics. If you're buying just, regular meat off the counter in most grocery stores, it's probably not a well treated animal, and probably was injected with a lot of unfortunately antibiotics and things that aren't so healthy for us, because that passes down to us. And I'll never forget, we took some clients once to a restaurant, farm to table, and the chef came out and said, I can bring you a piece of meat from a farm where the animal was treated really well, was able to roam and eat healthy food, and I can bring you the same meat from a factory farm, and you will be able to see a dramatic difference in color and size, and it will blow your mind. He's like, it really is such a dramatic difference. And you got to remember, those stress hormones from those animals living in those factory farms and under these poor conditions, we're ingesting all of that into our body. That does not serve us in any way, shape, or form. So really know the sourcing of your meat. How is that animal treated? All of that is really, really important. And then intuitively, I mean, that's what it has come down to. I know for both of us, there's seasons where I literally don't want any meat. I don't crave it. And then I go through these periods where I crave it and I feel like I want it. And so I follow that intuitive eating process when it comes to meat. I don't do that with all of my food, but when it comes to meat, it's really an intuitive thing for me. And when I do eat it, it's usually in very small portions. It's the smallest part of my plate. And my veggies and stuff are the largest part. So that would be my 2 cents on meat. I don't know if you want to add anything to that.
Yeah, I think that I'm right there on that same page. And through my own experience of not eating it for a few years, it was not serving my body well, not having it at all. And so that's kind of what it came down for me from a health standpoint, was that, okay, my body does need to eat some meat. And of course, very, very picky about it. We have to find good sources, and that's not easy for us here in small town America to find good sources. I should say that they're out there. We just have to find them. I know we have a great farm about an hour from here, and we can get it at our local farmers market. So just being really picky about it and go down the rabbit hole of factory farming. We really encourage everybody to do that and not just take our opinion or our word for it. You can go down the rabbit hole of any of these topics we talk about. That's how we've learned about it, is by being curious. So be curious about it. And it just, if it means that when you go to a restaurant, if it's not a restaurant that you know that they're getting their sourcing of their foods well, then don't eat meat there. There's a lot of great vegetarian dishes, and a lot of times, most of the time around here anyway, it's not organic fruits and vegetables that you're eating at restaurants. So that's kind of your 80-20 rule, the 20%. So with the meat, just don't have it at all. If you're at a restaurant and you don't know where it's coming from, it does make a difference. And it's energy. You're consuming another animal's energy, and you're putting it in your body, and it can wreak havoc on your body. It really can. So lots of studies out there around that too. So just, again, let's just be intuitive about it. And if it's interesting to you and you want to learn more, then we encourage you to do so. There's a ton of information out there on that.
Yeah.
Documentaries.
Oh my gosh. So many great documentaries on that. So yeah, I think that's it for Food is Medicine. I mean, we could actually go on for hours and hours, but we'll wrap it up here. You can always reach out to us. We love this topic, and we share about it regularly on our social media, on Instagram, Viwell Lifestyle, on Facebook, and you can reach us at drinkjuice@vibewell.com. That comes directly to Christine and I, and yeah, that's our jam when it comes to Food is Medicine. We love to talk about it. We love to share, educate, and help other people on their journey as much as we can. We've been down it for a long time, so we've learned a lot.
Yeah, and I think we should share just a couple local resources of where we get some food that we love, and we're online too, Thrive Market. I think it's really important to share thrivemarket.com. That's the bridging food that we've talked about, but you can also get frozen meat on there. And I have done that for my back stock. But they have they really do their due diligence on brands too. And I love that you can see reviews and all the nutrition facts right on every single product. So Thrive Market is great. We also love one of our favorite local grocery stores. It's about 25 minutes away from us, but Simply Fresh Market in Brighton is amazing. Their produce, their little market that they have or not market, but their cafe that you can order food. It's awesome. So that's a great one. And then, what else am I missing?
I would say just getting in touch with your farmers, your local farmers markets, and starting to learn as you browse through there who is growing their food in a way that you can get behind. And
the CSA that we have that is starting in just a couple weeks, or I should say, it starts in the spring every year and it goes through the fall. Is 3 local farms. One that is, I don't know, they're all within 20 to 30 minutes of us. There's 3 of them, and then you purchase into the CSA, and you get whatever is fresh that week is what you get, and you get a box full of a great variety that you can learn different ways of cooking and get your kids involved. But that right there is such a huge game changer in getting involved in and really supporting our local farmers and getting behind them and what they're doing as well.
And understanding too that they may not be certified organic because it's so not financially possible for them to do so, but they have organic practices. And that's a part of getting to know them, to understand what they're doing on their farm. And so you can support them, even though they can't always financially certify themselves as organic. They're doing a great job.
And I think bottom line is, and this is a whole nother rabbit hole, is being certified organic is a corporate government thing that we don't need if we know our people and we know where it's coming from, and they don't need it. So
let's support them as much as we can.
Yep. So thank you so much for tuning in. And like Jen said, if you have any questions, please reach out. drinkjuice@vibewell.com. It will come to both Jen and I via email. And we're happy to dive into this further or work with you 2-on-1 as health coaching. And however we can do to support you, or whatever we can do to support you on your journey.
All right, everybody. Have a great day.
Bye for now.
Bye-bye. Thanks again, friends, for joining us today on our latest podcast episode. We love sharing this with you. So please share the love if you feel called to all your friends and family.
And don't forget to hit the subscribe button. You don't want to miss out on what we're going to talk about next. It's always so juicy.
And of course, you can find us on social, Instagram, Vibe Well Lifestyle, and Vibe Well on Facebook. Love y'all.
And if you're in town, make sure you stop by and see us at Vibe Well too.
Yeah, we would love to see your cute face.
See you soon.
Bye.